Hi guys, I'm Daddy Freeze, convener of the Free the Sheeple movement and leader of the Free Nation in Christ. I greet you and I bring glad tidings. We are surrounded by divorce, left, right, and center. Yul Edochie has actually been on sabbatical for a few moments since Tubaba has taken over the scene. But you see, so far, we've had many famous people in Nigeria divorce. From our pastors like Pastor Chris, Oyakilome and Okotie, to our celebrities, to broadcasters like Daddy Freeze and Dotun, musicians like Tubaba, Paul of P Square. We've had AY the comedian. We've had Nedu the broadcaster. We've had Tubaba, Basket Mouth. Mention, if I told you to mention 10 celebrities, everybody, I want to give you an assignment. 10 famous people that you know have gone through a divorce. You'll be amazed that everybody here has something to say. So the problem is, Buki Shotte here is a divorcee. John is a divorcee. Daddy Freeze, I mentioned myself. So the problem now is we need to go and look at the framework of marriage. What do you need in a marriage? What are you looking for in a marriage? Miss Somodona here is also divorced. What are you looking for? What are your expectations? You see, during our prayer meeting today, hey, Marvelous, please let me close this door. Taste boss, they do meeting there, they shout. So, how are you? Fine. So, a lot of people are going through divorce, and we need to start re-examining things. God does not provide you with a wife or a husband. And I see this all the time. If Christ did not give Mary and Martha, who were cooking for him, husband, who are you in Alakbere that God wants to come and give husband? Who are you in Okokomaiko that God wants to come and give husband? Who are you? So a lot of people think that a wife is a gift from God. No, a wife or a husband is a gift or a reward system for the hard work you have invested in yourself. That is why a rich man is more likely to find a woman than a poor man. Doesn't mean the marriage will work, but he has people who want to marry him because he has invested in himself. Now, a rich man who is capable of making good choices will choose a good woman and have a long marriage, a long, how do I put it? a long-lasting union. The problem is you are neither rich nor are you good at choice making. So your problem is double. I need you to understand that. We also have a confused society. Our society is confused. During the time of David and Goliath, men knew where their place was. Women knew where their place was. Today, women want to be equal with men, but if armed robber knock door, they go say make the man go answer. Women want to be on the same level with men. So you are marrying a man. Most of you are gay. Respond after me. Most of you are gay. Most of you men listening to me, married men. Very few men in 2020, between 2010 and now, married women. Either they themselves have become women and they married women, so they are lesbian, or they are men who marry their fellow men disguised as women. So we are all agegi. I remember having a quarrel with my ex one day. I just looked at her and said, I be agegi. Say, what do you mean? I said, I married a man. So one of the biggest problems we have in today's world is the fluidity of roles. And it's not a bad thing because it has its advantages. But the problem is, I call it the man, close the door. I call it the man-ape paradox. Some men were trying to create a superior creature that had the strength of an ape and the wisdom of a man. What they ended up with was the strength of a man and the wisdom of an ape. So sometimes when you absorb new cultures, the tendency to accept the really good parts of the cultures is very low because we accept the parts of the culture that suits us. And why does it suit us? Because it speaks to the part of our culture that is too hard for us. So what you are doing is you are throwing away the hard parts of your culture that may or may not have a use. You haven't studied the absence of those parts of your culture long enough to be able to say they are useless. But instead, you substitute them with the useless parts of another culture that seem appealing. So at the end of the day, you have this hybrid man-ape that has the strength of a man and the sense of an ape. The two most useless characteristics. The man is weak but has a powerful mind. The ape is strong but has a weak mind. So you wanted a strong ape strength and human mind but got the reverse. And that is why we are where we are now. A woman wants you to pamper her. She wants you to provide for her. She wants you to buy her a bag. She wants to be on a salary, but then she still wants you to do the dishes. It doesn't work like that. It's either I do the dishes or I give you a salary. You have to choose. I can't do both. If me and Mrs. Linda, for instance, move to America together and we get married, I know that I'm not going to have a maid to sweep my floor, a guy to wash my car and all those things. So I have to be handy. So me and Mrs. Linda will sit down with draw roaster. What do we need in this house? Load washing machine, load dryer, sweep floor, wash car, feed children, drive children to school. pick children up from school, this, that. So we now sit down and say, okay, Miss Linda, me, I wash car. Miss Linda say, okay, I will sweep floor. Me, I will load washing machine. Miss Linda will say, okay, I will load dishwasher. Okay. Me, I will take car to the mechanic. Miss Linda say, okay, me, I'll pick children up from school. And me, I will drop them in school. At the end of the day, what have we done? We have balanced it out. The problem is when Mrs. Linda now expects me to give her salary. That's where there's now problem. It is fine if I give her a salary and she does all. Once in a while I come home, I just see the dustbin full, I go on. But it's not my responsibility because I'm paying her. Which is what men in Nigeria do. It becomes a problem when me and you are sharing the job 50-50. As a man, trust me, it will be more towards your side. And then you are now expected to pay salary. What happens now is you don't get the benefit of the salary. See, our fathers those days will come home and sit down and our mothers will provide their meals. As a child, I know how my sisters used to serve my father food. When they are going to serve him food, let's imagine this is a towel. The towel will be on, they'll carry wash hand water, he will wash his hand. Then as soon as he finishes washing his hand, you will now give him the towel, he will now wipe his hand. You understand? So they serve him food, they serve him hand wash. He doesn't get up unless he wants to. Maybe needs to wash his hand with soap. But normal I chop finish. Now they will carry hand wash in a bowl, plastic bowl. You saw your mothers do that to your fathers, didn't you? Didn't you see your mothers do that to your fathers? Good. And then everything in the house, from food to school fees, your mothers did maybe 20% at best. When the father pays school fees, the mother can decide, I will buy uniform or I will celebrate the children's birthdays. So we now have that division of labor that was a transition from where their grandfather. You need to study your history as an African. You might be living in America, but you're not an American. If you want to solve your problems as Africans, you need to find the roots of the problems. Those days, men had many wives. Men had many wives so they could have many children. Now, let me tell you something. Sons were more useful than daughters because men were farmers and hunters. How useful is a daughter in the bush? How useful is a daughter on the farm compared to a son? So the concept of Igbo men wanting sons and Yoruba men leaving their properties to their sons has its roots in our culture. And what occupations our ancestors had and how having a male child was more favorable. Imagine a man with 8 sons. His production capacity will be much higher than a man with 8 daughters. Because what are the daughters going to do? They will pick egusi. They will pick beans. They will wash cloth. They will go to the stream and fetch water. Those things are nice. Those things are useful. But you cannot compare them to a young man wakes up every day at 4 o'clock. By 6 o'clock, he don't mount a bay heap on the farm. He don't mount 200. He don't clear one whole village in 3 days, cutting the grass, moving. That is the bulk of the production comes from there. So there was a synergy. A woman understood that my husband needs to have many sons. So if I cannot give him sons, so that we will not be backward in the production, I will go and get him a younger wife. A younger wife has more of an opportunity of getting a son. Now, when Igbo men and Yoruba men feel that, oh, if they don't have a son, they don't have anything. It's because those days, you give a farm to a woman, what is she going to do with it? But you give a farm to a man, he's going to be able to cultivate it. So many of our philosophies, our ideologies are stemming from our African roots that we have not properly dissected. So there's a concept I spoke to you of the other day. It's called the Chesterton's fence. The Chesterton's fence is a man walking on a bush path and seeing a rickety fence, and then deciding that, what is really the use of this fence? Tell Amarachi to bring my drink. What is really the use of this fence? And he demolishes the fence because the fence doesn't look like it has any use. It's rickety anyway. But for all you know, that fence on the bush path is what is preventing the cows from going to eat poisonous plants, or from, when you are breeding, you want to breed a certain set of rams that have good characteristics with the best of the ewes. That's the female sheep. But when you just open the fence, all the rams will just go there and just be benching all the ewes, and then you have all sorts of offspring. So maybe that fence is there to prevent the male rams from going to meet the females until the farmer decides that, okay, this female is of good reproductive quality, she's done well, she will give good offspring, and he hands her over to this particular ram who he wants to breed her with. So the fence might look useless to you, but the fence actually is doing something. So the Chesterton's fence dilemma is, why are you removing the fence when you don't know what the fence does? And we have a lot of that in our culture. We do away with a lot of things without proper replacement and understanding why we are doing away with these things. I'll give you an example. When there was circumcision of babes, we had a lot less promiscuity. Not that there was no promiscuity, because for you to have zero promiscuity, it means you are tying promiscuity to pleasure. And women do not tie promiscuity to pleasure all the time. A woman that wants to sleep with her boss to get a pay rise is not going to care whether she enjoys it or not. She's not doing it for the pleasure. She's doing it for what she's going to get. A woman that wants to buy G-Wagon and meets a chairman or an allergy who says, if you bench me and become my side chick, I will buy you a G-Wagon. Whether she has the ability to enjoy the benching or not no longer matters. She's not having the intercourse for enjoyment. She's having the intercourse for G-Wagon. So you need to understand that when the circumcision was done, it was done to prevent promiscuity. And it reduced the pleasure promiscuity, but it did not reduce a woman who wants to marry a king and become an Olori. If you like, remove the whole bake. She will still marry the king and leave her poor husband, because the Agba, I did live. I go call you in like 1 hour. Please, no vex. Put my drink inside. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, we also need to, why was the pleasure of women reduced? Because men owned women. And men did not want the properties they owned to become communal properties. So the stemming of preventing women from being promiscuous was based on ownership. And the problem with ownership is that the Bible endorses ownership. That is why adultery in the Bible is based on women. A man cannot commit adultery with a single woman. Biblically, a man can only commit adultery which, by the way, carries the capital punishment, if he sleeps. Whether he's married or not doesn't count. If he sleeps with somebody else's engaged or married wife. So, reducing the pleasure for women came from a place of ownership. I own this woman. Now, all of you saying it's a man's world, it is this, blah, 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 blah. Bongoli, I don't know where you are getting your statistics from. Divorces are not reducing, please. Maybe they are reducing in America, not in Nigeria. Because people never tell you, say, they go do divorce. Nigerian man, your pack come out. If divorce is like that, they don't file them. So you don't have the statistics. Poor people cannot afford to divorce. They just separate and move on. Stop interrupting me, Bongoli. You two, they argue. So, let's now come to the concept of ownership. Men owned women. It looks like cheating, but women wanted to be owned. Life has not always been the man with the Ferrari gets the babe. There was a time when the man who had muscle and power and could wield a sword is the one that can protect the babe. We live in an easy life. Look at Bill Gates. If you tear and two slap, if you from there, log out. And he's one of the most powerful men on earth. It wasn't like that too. David, as king, was a warrior. David was a warrior. Not only did he defeat Goliath, they told him to go and buy 100 Philistines. He bought 200. So you need to understand the structure of society, and I've taken my time out to study the structure of society. Oh, why did men own women? Because women wanted to be owned. That's the only way they and their children could be protected when they are married to a rich, powerful man. Warriors. Ojukwu was a general. You marry a general, you are protected. Most kings were powerful swordsmen. Most Saul went to battle. They all just look at the Bible, then study Yoruba history, study Igbo history. They were not. It's not today when a fat man. The world has evolved into a place where you can use money to buy power. Those days, there was a limit to where money will go, because it will get to a point. Go and watch, even in China, the Khan. How did he become the Khan? He had a battle on to buy with his own brother, and he buy the brother. So, women wanted to be owned because the ownership provided them with protection. And women also wanted their owners to be financially strong. And what was finances then? Gold. How did you get gold? By selling land, by going to war and collecting the gold by force. Abraham went with 300 men to go and get his cousin back. Abraham was already rich. Lot was already rich. I've been a nephew. Genesis chapter 14. Not only was Abraham, what caused Abraham and Lot's problem that made them separate was they were too rich. So the herdsmen of Abraham and the herdsmen of Lot were always fighting. So Lot and Abraham now decided, okay, me, I will go this way, you will go this way. They now kidnapped Lot. What did Abraham do? Abraham, with men from his own army, went to fight against 3 kings or 5 kings, or how many kings is it? And they plundered them and won. If you read it in the book of Hebrews, it's called Kopesh ton Basilion, the slaughter of the kings. Abraham wasn't a jolly old fellow with big tummy sitting down drinking burukutu. He was a warrior. He went, and if you read Genesis 14 verse 20, when he met Melchizedek, after he met Melchizedek and Melchizedek blessed him, he now met the king of Sodom. The king of Sodom came to meet him and said, Abraham, please, you can keep anything you want. Just please free my men. Now Abraham tell her, say, no, I'm already a rich man. I don't need the tongue of a sandal from you or a thread from you, so that you not say you are the one that made Abraham rich. So carry everything except for what my men have already eaten. Abraham was a warrior. What about Jacob? What about Esau? What about Moses? What about Joshua? You don't know your history, so I'm just using the Bible as an explanation. So those days, they make it look like, oh, those days were so bad. Men just owned women. Men owned women because the life then was dictated by the strongest. Samson was a warrior. Saul was a warrior. David was a warrior. So they had a system that worked. Women that you consider, what do you call? You can say, oh man, women suffered those days. The women were happy with the suffering because they had choices of suffering. Is it that you live by yourself and every day a warrior comes to your town and plunders the town and benches you by force, or you submit yourself to a superior man who will prevent the warrior to come and bench you? Am I connecting with you? Because they have distorted history and made it look like, oh, this is bad. Now, when a man owns you, okay, I'm offering you protection. I'm offering you food. I'm offering you the land I grabbed. Remember, how do you take land those days? Now by force. Now by force. So if women could not fight, there were one or two women warriors across history, but there were not many. The majority of, even, just go and study your local culture. So a woman had anything she had because of a man. Why is this so? If she had it by herself, they will collect it from her hand. So the only way a woman can say, this iPhone 16 Pro is mine, is because she's enjoying the protection of Josh Esek, who is her husband. So me, Daddy Freeze, now meets a woman with a knife and say, hey, give me that phone. People go call her aside and say, you don't know Tina Josh Esek wife. Daddy Freeze go down raw, say, who be Josh Esek papa? Who is his father? Don't tell her, say, Josh Esek. Say, only yesterday, some people annoy and he cut their head. 3 days ago, he went into a village and pied everybody. Baba, no collect her phone, no. Now Josh Esek wife, oh. So the woman was able to own land because of the protection she was under. It wasn't random. It was a societal structure. Look at what happened to what's this guy's name again? Oh, Dinah. Thank you very much. What happened to Dinah? One guy will fall in love with him, go forcefully sleep with him. So in brothers Congo, by everybody. So those days, why Dinah no go carry her sisters? Once again, it was a man's world. It was not a man's world because men did not enjoy it too. Don't think it was fun and games. Oh. Oh, a man can just have 10 girls and sometimes the man will have the 10 girls for 3 years. Another strong man will rise up and tell the 10 girls to come to him. So the men did not, and they had to fight for it. They had to go to war. They had to show that they were. You see, for a man to have 10 girls, the sweetest partner say they bench 10 different quick. The walk way they walk for him, and constantly he has to be careful that people in his camp don't poison him or buy him. A man who could not go to war will have no wife. You had to be good in battle. Even David's own son Absalom, fought against him. They bring Goliath. What do you think they need? They have brought Goliath. So yeah, to torment them. What do you think you're going to go and bring? You're going to go and bring your babe? Or you're going to go and bring 10 Vs to come and stand and fight him? You are going to bring your most able soldiers. So the men then, oh, it was a woman's world. Men could just tell the woman anything. For a man to get to where he can tell a woman anything, he don't go war, come back, tire. And anytime there is war, people, they are afraid of him because they know that he's a warrior. The world is not like that anymore. But you need to understand and disabuse your mind that, oh, women were cheated. No, they were not cheated. They got the value they deserved from what situations persisted. And how was circumcision introduced? It was introduced because men did not want their property that they are protecting to go and be shared by other men, because the women were once in a month, when it's time, they are ovulating, their bodies everywhere, the thing is scratching them, then they now go and collect outside, and they now go and bring a child inside. And women did not complain about it because that is what it took to be under the protection of a man. So your children, even though women enjoy pleasure, they are more concerned about their children. Are my children going to have food? Are my children going to be protected? Is somebody going to come to our camp and take all my children and turn them to slaves? These were the concerns back then. So women followed men who could assure them protection, and they paid the price for that protection that men gave. So don't at any point think women were not happy with it. That is why even till today, those places that they practice circumcision, I don't believe in it and I don't want it. But it is your mother that will carry you there. Because your mother still believes. That's why when I was growing up, my parents told me I had to be a doctor. And I said, for what? No. I had to be a doctor. Because according to my father, during his time, it was doctors and lawyers that were making money. Those were the people they looked up to. Me, I don't believe the doctors make more money than I do. And even if they make more money than I do, I don't believe they have better job satisfaction. I enjoy what I do and I can feed my family from it. But you see, many people believe that the way the society they grew up in is the way to be in perpetuity. So the mothers understood, the great-grandmothers understood why they needed to submit to a man for protection, and passed it over to their daughters who didn't need it as much. But then still consequently passed it to their own daughters who didn't need it at all. But like the Chesterton's fence paradox states, why are you bringing down that fence without properly replacing and understanding that fence? What is the purpose of that fence? Okay, it is promiscuity. You don't want a woman to be promiscuous. That is why you are limiting her pleasure. Is there a way we can deal with promiscuity without removing a woman's pleasure? Because where we are now is also not a good place. I remember I keep telling you this thing in life, the K-leg and bow leg analogy. K-leg is not the solution to bow leg, neither is bow leg the solution to K-leg. K-leg is a problem, bow leg is a problem. They are just two different types of problem. When our grandmothers were growing up, the way women, they bench up and down, now, they no born our great-grandmothers. Bad boy Nas 5. There's nothing to you. Don't even have a name. Let me just rapture you. So what are we doing? They using because then that's what men are. You are my woman. This is what I'm going to do to you. If you don't agree, go. Please do it to me. Oh, protect me from the rampaging warriors. Go and watch Vikings. I tell people, if you want to join the Free Nation, you have to watch Vikings. Go and watch it. Stop watching Nathaniel Bassey. Go and watch Vikings so you understand what society is. Because you don't have a clue. You just think that you think that things happen because they happen and people like to cheat people. They were properly. Don't go and watch Vikings. You don't wake up one morning, they don't plunder your village. Finish everything with a carry all. So women were submitting themselves to men who could offer them protection from the rampaging warriors. You just see them at your coast one morning. Well, that don't happen. Nothing if you do. But when you had a David, you had a Joshua, you had a Samson, you had a Goliath, you had an Abraham, they will stand up and offer resistance. And by offering resistance, they give you protection. So you need to understand how societal structure works. When these things were invented, they were useful. They are no longer useful today, but they've not been replaced. So in the times of David and Oromio and our Igbo ancestors, they put structures in place, and those structures were useful for that time capsule. In today's world, we have removed those structures because, in all honesty, they are no longer useful in today's world. I don't need to offer my wife protection because the government already offers all of us protection. Someone says, is Viking that interesting? I'm not telling you to watch it for entertainment. Use your sense. I'm telling you to watch it as a documentary so you can understand things. Must everything be interesting? So what you have as today's world is like cheddar cheese, holes everywhere. It is filled with holes. Everything has been brought out. Oh, men are cheating women. This is not good. Throw it out. Okay, you've thrown it out because it's no longer. What have you replaced the fence with? How are you preventing the cows from going to eat the poisonous grass? How are you preventing the useless rams who have weak legs, small body? How are you preventing them from mating with the ewes so that they will not continue giving you useless children? The fence was there to protect the rams, the males from the females, so they don't just start climbing themselves. Okay, the fence you believe is useless and you've removed it. But the fence was solving a problem. Have you addressed that problem?
Taste buds do not excellently mixed. Perfect texture, perfect taste. Please, because this is heart attack for me. Is this what I'm going to sell? I can't.
Someone talks about food the whole day. So, what am I saying at the end of the day is, we have found ourselves in a society that is full of holes. They remove things that were useful 500, 1,000 years ago, but have not bothered to replace them.
Is your network
And
working?
my network is fine. And what has happened right now is we have created confusion. And that confusion is the foundation of the many divorces we have here. The Bible says a time will come when 7 women will submit themselves to one man. It wasn't talking about this time. Most of the biggest problem we have with the Bible is being able to understand its chronological value. It wasn't talking to you. It was talking to people in those. A time is coming around that their period. Why? Because of wars, because of all sorts of issues. So it's not talking about now. It is addressing a problem that was arising at that specific period. The problems we have now are different. We have, as pushed by the Biden and Obama administration, one of the reasons why I like this crazy man who has his mugshot on the hallway of the Oval Office is because he tries to bring clarity to this nonsense that they have been doing for too long. I don't want to use my mouth talking because their eyes, they social media, they look for who go talk against them. When a man can turn to a woman and go and compete with women in women's sports, and then he say, oh, it's okay. It's just confusion. So when you have confusion, people do not know their roles. So they try to play it by the air. Okay, when we get to that bridge, we'll cross it. No, your ancestors knew what they would do at every bridge. Your ancestors knew the rivers that had no bridges. Your ancestors prepared for every bridge. They did not just find themselves crossing it. Everything was properly strategically placed. That's how Napoleon and Caesar and Alexander the Great were able to. Do you think Alexander the Great just went, gathered his army? There was strategy. But the problem is you enter marriage without strategy. The fences that you see that you have removed and you are now suffering the consequences. You did not think it through that, okay, why this, I'll give you the example of circumcision. Why are we removing this circumcision? What was the circumcision intended? Why did they bring circumcision of women into existence? Where did it come from? Okay, it came from the fact that men owned women and men who owned women did not want their property to be promiscuous. Okay, so the problem was promiscuity. How do we solve the promiscuity without having to go through the primitive route our ancestors went through? Because once you remove it, women are more aroused and there's nothing stopping them. The society actually says, yeah, you are just like the man, you're free, you can do whatever you want. So you removed a problem and created another problem. So we no longer have the lack of pleasure problem, we now have the too much pleasure problem. I'm just giving you one example. Men and women knew their roles. A man with 6 wives and 10 sons was more powerful than a man with 1 wife and 7 daughters. Because if now war come, the one with 7 sons will defend himself better than the one with 7 daughters. If they bring farm, they say, oh yeah, farmland, farm. The one with 7 sons will be able to have a bigger harvest than the one with 7 daughters. So your grandfather wanted sons. Your father wanted sons. You never bothered to find out why. You just felt, oh, they are cheating daughters. Daughters have no value. What you need to do before you break that fence is understand the fence. When you understand the fence, you understand the need for the fence. When you understand the need for the fence, you now understand that, okay, if I remove this fence, I'm going to have to replace it with something. Your ancestors, the Oyibo people came and carried all your relics and everything and said, oh, these are idols, and carried them to their land and gave you their own relic, Oyibo Jesus, and said, that's your God. And the moment you got converted to this foolishness, you carried all your shrines and burnt them. You burnt the Chesterton's fence without putting a replacement, without understanding the value it had. I'm not saying all the fences are useful. Some fences are actually totally useless and need to be knocked down completely. But you can't just knock a fence down before you understand its meaning, understand its use, understand its purpose. And then if you feel it is too rickety, you can build something else that has and will offer better value. So when we take this holistically and we apply it to marriage, this is where we come to. What are the things in marriage that are useful? When the white man came with his Christianity and his Jesus and his ideology, it wasn't all useless. But the problem is it broke every fence. All of the Chesterton's fences we had were all destroyed. And Jesus did not replace them. Jesus came with equal rights for women without giving them equal protection. He came with all sorts of things. So what we did was, our society was a K-legged society, and we saw another society that looked so fine, and we collected that society and we became a bow-legged society. Our leg never stays straight. Because the white man did not bring Jesus to you to save you. He brought Jesus to you to control you. Jesus was not given to you to save you. If, when they brought Jesus to us, the question is, did they allow us to live in their countries with them as equals? So on this earth, we were their subordinates, but we will all go to the same heaven. If you believe it, you'll be all there. If you believe that someone who could not share toilet with you on this earth will share paradise with you, you must be a complete malu. So Jesus was what was used to break down all African fences. Right now, a man must have one wife. Because in the Nigerian constitution, based on our Oyibo constitution, having two wives is called bigamy. But there was a structural construct, a societal foundation for polygamy. And until we understand it, in embryo, we cannot remove it. We need to be able to replace it, because it had its societal and fundamental uses for Africans. You need to disabuse the minds of African men and make them see women as their equals. You need to explain to them that this is a society. You can't force it down their throats. And that is why we have inherited. When our grandparents were married, there's always going to be divorce. But marriage was a societal construct. You can't just divorce a man. Just the same way you can't just marry a man. A whole society is involved. And as human beings, I am not a broadcaster today because my father is a broadcaster and I inherited his broadcasting apparatus. I was able to go into the world and carve a niche for myself. Those days, 200 years ago, now my papa niche now I go follow and carve. If my father was a drumsmith, a blacksmith, my name would be Will Smith. And my son will be Jaden Smith. Because we are all Smiths. If your papa na goldsmith, your work na goldsmith. If your papa na herbalist, your work na herbalist. If your mama they make cotton, your work na cotton. You come from a long line of carpenters or roof thatchers or business people. You sell in the market. Your father is a palm wine tapper. You will tap palm wine by default. And it had its advantages. That's why there was what you call generational wealth that is almost non-existent today. You think by building a house in the village for your children, you left them generational wealth. Mumu. So, we are now at the juncture where we are. We are in between K-leg and bow-leg. We are going towards bow-leg. We are coming from K-leg. We are going towards bow-leg, but we've not gotten to bow-leg yet. This is the time when we filled the holes in the cheddar cheese. What is absent in marriage? What are men looking for? What are women looking for? You have to be consistent. If you are looking for a partner, your partner is not going to give you a salary. Partners don't give partners salary. Now bosses, they give a staff salary. If you are looking for a man to submit to, it's also going to come with the consequences of submission. Your ability to make decision is not going to be that much. It's what the person has given you the bill. Rich men just come home one day and say, we are moving to Ikoyi now. Daddy, what happened? You don't even ask. They're not born you. There are some families, rich families those days, that their wives cannot call the husband name. They'll call them daddy. Daddy wa, our daddy. I don't know if I'm connecting with you. So a man that is rich and powerful will give you everything you want financially, will give you the protection you need. Your children will go to the best schools. Your children will do well, but know that it's going to come at a cost. You're going to have to share him with one or two other men. One or two other women. Maybe 3 or 4 other women. That's the price you're going to have to pay. My problem now is men are not ready to be men, and women want the benefits of having a man while they want that man. It's like you want this rich chief to be your partner. How is he going to be your partner? What are you bringing to the table? When you bring partnership to the table, we become partners. We are good. I'm not going to give you a salary. We sit down together every month and say, okay, this month we spend $3,000. Here's my 1.5. Baby, let's go for a date. We go for the date. They bring the bill. The bill is $250. My darling, here's my $125. Or the wife says, I've got this one. You cover the next. We are partners. And then she also has to choose. Because I can't take her to a $1,000 a meal restaurant and expect her to go and look for $500. So I've got to seek her consent. Baby, do you think it would be nice if we invested $1,000 in eating at this Michelin 5-star restaurant? I said, no, darling. You know, we're fixing the basement now. Oh, yes, it's true. You are talking to your partner. Do you think Mike Adenuga wants to do something? He will now call one of his wives. If he calls them, he'll say, okay, Chinese or Mexican, what do you want? The wife will say, okay, the kids will like Mexican. We've not gone to Mexican for a while. All right, Mexican. Not that we cannot afford. Nothing concerning with the afford. Just tell me what you want. Brazil or Dubai. Where do you want us to go this holiday? Then the wife might say, you know that there's war around that Middle East, so I'm not really sure. Maybe we should do Brazil. But not that we don't have, there's nothing concern you with the money. My question is, give me a reason. If I'm asking you, is because I want to know something outside of budget or money or anything.
What about the Anthony? They call the 4 wives and the 32 children.
Yes, there's one family my daughter told me about. She went to school with them. The man has 4 wives and 32 children. So they'll sit down and vote where they are going for holiday.
The wives went to Dubai with other children.
So the wife, so if they now sometimes they now have a tie, like out of 4 wives plus 32, you have 36 people. Then 18 people vote for America and 18 people vote for London. So they are a tie now. So okay, they'll now say, okay, 2 wives that want to go to London. Who are the wives that want to go to London? Okay, you will carry the children that want to go to London. And the children that want to go to America will follow the 2 wives that want to go to America. So they will separate them and go. Every summer. Sometimes there's a consensus. They all agree that it's Dubai. Okay, everybody goes to Dubai. So how do you tell that man that he should come and wash plates? Or he just wants to come home and see that his car is washed, his food is on the table, there's a woman in his bed, he's got 4 of you guys, he's paying your bills. I don't want to know how you guys sort it out. Just make sure somebody's in my bed. Make sure my food is on my table. I'm not going to go and... My own is, daddy, we need this. It might not even get to him. It will get to his secretary. He will just sign it. Any wife where they see period or they sick or something, go just begging wife, say, please, you will sleep with daddy this night. Me, I have to do this, that. And sometimes men have preferences because they get the ones where sabi cutting ash well inside. The guy will just vex, say, where is Belinda? And where is Buki Shote? Why do I have to deal with Tolu Honike again this night? I'm joking, no. But that's what happens in these situations. So you want the benefits of, go to Dubai, go to London, go to this. But then you now still want that man that is providing these things for you. There was one man I knew, he had plenty children like that when I first came to Lagos. He will go to Mr. Biggs and give them money. Those days, maybe 200,000. My salary then was 20K a month. So you can imagine how much 200,000 is. That anytime his children come there to eat, they should just sign. They will go to all those clothes stores and have credit. Because he didn't want to give his children money. So that they will not go, they drink, they use the money, go use substance. So what you need in your life, you need cloth. You need shoe. You want to eat, no problem. All the restaurants in Lagos, they had unlimited credit there. You want to eat, go there. When you finish eating, sign. They will send the bill to his office and they will pay. There were men that did that. So you want that from a man, but you still want him to be your partner. Please choose. Now, you man, let me talk to you. You want Nkechi that we open leg up in the air like cockroach that they sprayed insecticide on. You want Nkechi to cook your food and wash your plates. You want Nkechi to kneel down and greet you when you come home. Josh Esek, my husband, Daddy, welcome home, sir. But then you still want Nkechi to come and share bill with you. You are as foolish as the maiden who wants the chief to come and wash plates. When you want to be a chief as a man, you know that you are going to pay bill. You will become a billing. Lord Billings. Anything that happens like this, they will tear you the billings. And that's what gives you the right to come home, sit down, fold your leg and put toothpick in your mouth before they've even served you the food. The problem is the confusion now. A man still wants to be a man, but he's sharing bill with his wife. How do you become a man? You read about David, and the Bible speaks of David, and you hear all the lovely things David is enjoying. But then you want to be like Oyinbo people where they share 50-50. They cannot understand David in that society. Lord Billings. The thing they funny on Abi. So it's either you are a Lord Billings or you share equally with everybody else. You and your wife have the same rights. Repeat after me. You and your wives have the same rights. Unless you want to be Lord Billings. Pop my money gun if you're watching on TikTok. People are really enjoying this class. And I'm enjoying the class so much. So I've not sold one single money gun. Yeah, let me rest a little and sell money gun. Maybe we'll continue with the class later. Are you enjoying the class? So, here's what I'm saying at the end of the day. When you enter into a marriage, what are your expectations? Somebody is saying you enter marriage, you have no expectations. You have to have expectations. If you have no expectations, it's recipe for disaster. This is what I want from my wife. This is what I want from my wife. This is what I want from my wife. And this is what I'm going to give. What are you going to give? And what do you want to take? When spelled out, it helps marriages. As a woman too, I want my man to be my man only. I don't want him to go outside. I don't want him to see other women. Okay, I must be beautiful. Because no man, let me tell you, benching, a man will love you to bits because you make his home comfortable. A man will love you to bits because you advise him well. A man will love you to bits because you have good character. But he will go and bench that girl with big EKB. He doesn't love her. But he loves the way the EKB moves. You don't have it. Now character you get. Now intelligence you get. If he carry you put in charge of one company, the company go begin to grow. Am I communicating? So you are useful, you are great, you are beautiful, you are wonderful, you are a great mother, but you are useless to him in the bedroom. But he doesn't want to lose the gem, the beautiful businesswoman, soft-spoken, great mother, his friend, his confidant, but he still wants to hit that thing that he's seen on TikTok. That thing that he's seeing that is vibrating on TikTok. He wants to experience it. He wants to hold it close to his bosom. He wants to kneel before the forest triangle and worship it. So what does he do? The problem is he has come to the marriage without expectations. He now has a dilemma. Someone says you can't get it all. You'll be amazed how much you can get. They say mathematically, date 7 people. The best out of the 7. Use that one as the benchmark. And anybody you meet again, compared to, you will find happiness. You'll be amazed that some men find short women attractive in the benching way. That's their preference. That's what they like. Some, like my Yoruba brothers, I don't know what they see. They like to see melon, watermelon, egusi melon. They carry melon, put inside bra, come and give them. They will submit to your. Men are not that hard to please. Oh. A man that likes melon, the reason why he's not sitting with you is because you have given him pear. Baba fe munyan. Oloshe BB, you go do BBL. Baba, there are some men that don't care. If the stomach is big, they'll say the stomach is big because the melon is big. They don't care. The problem is they have put other things in front of that preference. And those other things are blocking that preference. So at the end of the day, they have to have two people. There is a perfect car, like a BMW M5. You have a sports car. My sports car can only take two people. So if I'm going out with my family, they follow me at the back with Uber. Me and my wife sit in the car. The rest of them follow us at the back with Uber. So it's not a family car. But guess what? A BMW M5 has the performance and 4 seats. So you'll be amazed if you actually sat down and tabulated what you really wanted in a relationship. You'll be amazed how much you can't get everything, but you can get as much as 90% of what you want. The problem is you don't have expectations. They told you not to have expectations. How can you not have expectations? When you walk into Kia or Toyota, what are your expectations? I'm going to buy a car that my grandchildren can inherit. When you walk into Lamborghini or Ferrari, I'm going to buy a car that will give me that performance. I press it, it answers me. A Lamborghini is more likely to break down than a Mercedes or a Toyota. But Lamborghini owners don't mind. They know that it comes with it because they have tuned the engine to such high perfections that it is very likely to break down. So you don't go into a Lamborghini shop to buy an Aventador SVJ and expect that you will use it for Uber. You are being stupid. Something that you rev it twice, vroom, vroom, 4 liters of petrol don't finish. That thing has a 12-cylinder engine, V12. I went to fill my 6.2 liter V8 engine. Full tank, it showed me 66 miles. Range is 66 miles. My wife's car has half the tank and it will show you 340 miles. That's the range. Imagine full tank of motor. It show you 66 miles. You go by me. Because it did not tell, when they were selling the car to me, they did not tell me that this is a fuel efficient car. One day I was in between a trailer and a bus. The two of them were, I just match them. Just like, whoom, whoom, whoom. I'm like, hey, that is what I paid for. That's my expectation. The day it does not do whoom, 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 I go and complain. So when you are entering a relationship, what are your expectations? What do you want? You have every right to want. And what are you willing to concede? What are you supposed to concede? I'll give you another example. The paintwork on the car is so thin that when Kay came to my house last, Kay said, let me polish it. I said, don't polish. This paint is like they use nail paints to paint car. Why? So that the car will be light, because by the time they paint it with thicker coat, they've added 2 kilograms. That's more paint. By the time they paint, and they don't put another 1 kilogram, another 2 kilograms. They are making the car heavier. So you need to understand what value you are looking for and what value you are getting and what you are willing to trade in for that value. If you know that your priority is a woman that is good in business, that will build your business, you know that your options are limited. So just know that you will be managing her however she is. She get, yeah, she not get. She get melon, she not get. You don't manage her. And some of us are lucky. Like me, the one where I carry put for house. Melon full ground. Everything full as I like them. And the strategy I used when I met her that made me realize that this is the one was, she was better than the best I've ever dated. I looked at all the way my own past 7. I looked at all of them. And the highest I've ever dated, the best I've ever dated, was one girl I dated in uni. For a very short period. And she was better than that one. I just know saying, now my wife be this. That is why my ex was a great cook, but she's an even better cook. She can cook. Somebody don't know the name of the girl. I know we mention the name. You don't try. The name starts with E. Floki Family Show. Thank you for sending me £2 on YouTube. Thank you so much. Super chat, super stickers, and super likes on YouTube. So, here's what can prevent divorce. Divorce is not totally preventable. But here are the things that can prevent divorce. 1, understanding your expectations. There are some women that might even be better than my wife, but what they are expecting from me, I cannot do it. And there are some women, because it's also a give and take. What am I willing to give? Imagine me marrying a woman that is better than my wife, but talks to me anyhow. I will not be able to take it. So you need to understand and manage your expectations. What are your preferences? Your preferences are not your father's preferences. Don't let your father pick wife for you. Don't let your mother pick wife for you. What do you like? If your father be like you, like big Ikebe, your father point to this one and say, this is going to be good for you, my son. Now, as a woman, you are going to submit yourself to a man. What are the things you like? If you like a quiet man who doesn't talk much, you cannot marry Daddy Freeze or Nedu. Because I walk not to talk. So you go quarrel with us, tired. My ex used to complain about me, you talk too much, you talk too much, you talk too much. Baba, now talk be my work. Not marry me if you not like talk. Not marry me if you not like talk. What do you want from me? Can I give it to you? Are you comfortable with what I bring to the table? Are you comfortable with my ideologies? I was watching one, I had to drop it in our prayer group. One, all these prayer warriors we do. As in, they hop, follow themselves like Nintendo. When I first saw this, I said, what in the Mario Bros. Super Nintendo is this? As in, if you are in our prayer group, you will see the video. The guy does they do like this. Like, you don't say Mario and Luigi, Mario Bros. Nintendo. You ever play Super Mario before? Anybody with our prayer group who don't see that. As in, I was like, what? One of my guys tell me, say, any day in wife join any prayer group like that, that's the day he divorces her. Say, can never say anything in his life in wife he do, but that prayer group he cannot handle it. Now one of my secondary school, I don't look, I'm like, oh, no, my wife knows that she don't try that kind of Ekwabiola did there, she see him now. You don't, Henry never watch him. I said, just look at him, you like, and this is prayer. And, 'cause, 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 ' You cannot marry me if you are not ready to be a critical thinker. Even my children, I raise them to be critical thinkers. That's why I don't allow religion to get into their head. Because what the first thing religion does is it comes and he robs you of your ability to think like a human being. I'm sure Josh Esek too has seen it. I said, I could not believe it. I'm like, what is this? Me and my wife go quarrel. When I show Tastebot say, why you guys go ahead? I said, this is how they pray in that place. Tastebot say it's a lie. It's not possible. Tastebot, they follow me, argue, say this is edited. Say, this thing be like Nintendo. Now I say, no, that's their prayer. As in, it's already, Baba, you need to, as in, it's the highest comedy I've seen this year. Mario Brothers. I swear. You hear the answer, as in, she no fit believe. I said, no, that she, at the point she was almost attacking me like, daddy, freeze. Why are you now? I say, it's there, please, there. I didn't make it up. One woman did it, they look at them like, they say, Oluwakusuru. Eh? You can't be praying like that every single day since 2020. If it's not that, it's a money spinning venture. So what are the things that are important to you? Are you somebody who loves leisure? Are you somebody who loves business? Are you someone who loves art? Or are you someone who loves nightclubs? What do you want? Now, I don't like it when women say, it's a man's world. That world that those men lived in the day they created that is a man's world. If they put you inside, you will run. So when you know what is important to you, then also from beginning, I was in a relationship once. The woman tell me, say, if she catch me with cigar, she go break up with me. And me, I don't want to leave cigar, so I call they hide, they smoke cigar until she catch me. And then she break up with me. I can't cry, beg. She can't collect me back. But in fairness to her, I wasn't ready to give up what I should have given up to be able to get what I wanted to get. So sometimes the fault is yours. You are not willing to give up. One thing I know is, as taste buds dey like this, she no wan hear any other woman for my life. So I make sure I make all the demands I need from her that other women will bring. And I make sure I try my best to stick to the plan and forsake all other women. No matter how beautiful and tempting the melons or any other thing is, because that is what I'm going to give to get what I'm going to get. Give and take. Look at somebody beside me and tell me, give and take. If you give to a marriage, you must take. And that's my problem with Annie. She was giving too much than she was getting. She was shortchanging herself. Not to Baba's fault. From down, you don't know the kind of person way to Baba be. He said it himself. I was watching videos there. Annie loves me so much. She loves me more than I love her. Those kind of things. She shortchanged herself. It's give and take. This is what I'm giving. This is what I'm taking. Of course, there will be little blurry areas here and there. But as long as you see somebody who is willing to sacrifice for you, to love you, to work with you, to spend time with you, to bond with you, the likelihood that you divorce from such a marriage is way less than when you are in a marriage where all you are doing is giving. So, my message to people in marriages, if you are going through a hard time, but you want your marriage to work, manage your expectations. Put your expectations on the table. This is what I want. You'll be amazed how much easier it will be. You see, if you like big ikebe and you marry wife, we get flat ikebe. The two of them go gather money together. Let her go get a BBL. I'm ready. Once you get out of the bathroom, you know my own takes 5 minutes. And I've already showered, so I'll just re-shower. My wife is taking me out, taking me on a date. A surprise dinner for Valentine's. Come on. I just enjoy for this life, I swear. So, if you enjoyed today's message, come and pop my money gun. People come, I sit down, you gather all the knowledge you want to gather, make your lives better. By the way, yesterday I was looking for 200 and something K balance for the website. Somebody sent that. And we're looking for 840K for the salary of the guy who manages the social media, which is a very small salary. Henry the Great did not understand money until he came to Nigeria. When we used to say we need 2 point something million, Henry was like, that money is too much. And when Henry the Great entered the market, he called me and he said, Daddy Freeze, I carry 2 point something million come. I cannot even see what I bought with it. Daddy Freeze. I say, Henry, when will they talk and say, say the money no get value, be like say with the lie give you. So those are my thoughts. I'm rounding off in 3 minutes. Pop my money gone. When I don't happy now, say rounding off. We have collected all the knowledge. We no go pay. We go save our money, so we go pay for Mario Bros on Monday. When did they do their Mario Bros prayer? We'll go use them. Buy star on Monday. Oh, Yamaje Ogbohini. Come to TikTok. Pop my money gun if you're watching on TikTok. Double click that screen. Double click that screen if you're enjoying the message. Pop that money gun. Boo Boo. Augustus. How you doing? That's my brother from way back. Josh Esek. If you want just join. See as person just join after everything don't end. Shades of Grains. My wife is taking me to date. I should now not go to date so that I can continue teaching you people for free. Mogbe. Eburu. Daddy Freeze, we don't want you to go. You are not even saying Daddy Freeze, here's 1 million naira stay. You're saying Daddy Freeze, we want you to go. We don't want you to go so you can continue teaching us for free. And my wife is taking me out to go and have a Michelin 5-star experience. Someone said, am I driving? No. Anywhere I've not gone to before, I carry Uber. What if the road no good? What if they no get parking? Once I don't go there before, I feel can't think and say, okay, I can drive this car, pass this way, and get there. Somebody said, friend account. Stanley Wealth, rich man. I like this kind of people. In whole name na money. Stanley Wealth, rich man. Oshe, 100-131-7326, Zenith Bank. 100-131-7326, Zenith Bank. John, my great brother. Let me tell you something about John. Me and John don't quarrel. Now some people say Daddy Freeze. One particular person called me vex, say Daddy Freeze, you have to remove John. John said this. John said that. John did this. That's why I quarrel with John or remove John. One day I just realized, say the person will say make I remove John, don't block me. Meanwhile, when John come Lagos, he come meet me for Movenpick. We had a beer, we gisted, he came with his brother. We had a nice time. I come look and say, okay, instead of quarreling with my brother, let me sit down and explain things to him and say, okay, John, on my platform, please don't do this. John said, no problem. That's why I bring John back. And John brings his usual entertainment and his opinions, and we find ourselves on Insta blog. The people can just, life is funny. The person where say me cannot bring John again, come go block me. Okay, so if I bring John, how the person want take no? Pop the money gone, pop up, pop up, the money gone, pop up, eh? My mama don't call me safe. Ella say I'm her sugar daddy. I'm not. Taste boss don the phone Leo say she go call look for you, Ella. Better run. Taste boss say, you know I'm a very peaceful person. She's not peaceful, oh. If wahala happen, you no go like yourself. Now taste boss they talk, not me they talk more. How do you toast a married man openly, repeatedly? Repeatedly. Let's say you made a mistake. Okay, Ella's clarified. Said she was talking about John. Okay. Taste boss said very good. McCleggsy. Damilola, how are you doing? Okay, she meant John. Oh, okay. Okay, Ella, my apologies. Forgive me. But I think this year we'll go find husband for Ella. Because Ella own, we not going to understand them again. Pop my money gone. Because this enjoyment where I want to go enjoy, I'm not sure I will come back. If now the money gone where I go see now, go make me come back. Because gist day, hey! Gist full ground. But I said I wanted to have a counseling class because of the numbers of divorces out there. But I know we'll come back with the gist. The way you people are forming stingy. Ha! Someone say, Daddy Freeze, we don't have... Daddy Freeze, we don't have... what do they call it? We can't pay money into your bank account. And you don't have PayPal. Who tell you say I not get PayPal? I get PayPal, oh. Freeze 969 at hotmail.fr. FREEZE 969 at hotmail.fr. I can't get Revolut again, so I can move money from my PayPal to my Revolut. FREEZE 969 at hotmail, like hot mom, but this one at hotmail, HOTMAIL.fr.
Which one do you want?
Ken Kecholo, which one do you want? You want bank? Is there. You want star? Is there. You want money gone? Is there. You want super chat, super stickers, and super likes? Is there. It's an all-round, a 360, multi-surrounding.
International accounts, local accounts.
There's local account, there's international account, there's Revolut. Hot mom, baby. I see you right there.
K&K Chalon.
K&K Chalon. So me too, I can enjoy and I can eat anu okuko. Abi baby.
Yes, sir.
Ugo Amafule. Oshe. Today I say I go sell. Someone say nothing there Instagram, my legs is full there. Miss Linda, they laugh at my Igbo. No. Now. I don't they talk. See, lie. Taste boss they support. Taste boss now my taste boss now my life. I they quarrel with them, and she they manage me as I they quarrel. She works. My only problem with taste boss, she works too hard. That quarrel where would they get with her? We say me watch TV, I go seize her phone. Somebody say, send your wallet address like this. Send me a DM. I will send you my wallet address. Send me a DM. I won't buy Gala. Gala they down now. Make I buy small. And I won't buy ape. They say ape good. Do you have Zelle? The ones where I give you never reach. Ella the Duchess, why are you crying? Niger Hot Mom say, I won't give you lion for TikTok, but they say my money go finish. Give them. If the money finish, God will provide. Are you worshiping a dead God? No, now. Me too, I go do a Mario Bros prayer for you. Cash call. We live in a cashless society. Stop looking for excuse. Beautiful are days, A1. How Belinda just came at the last minute. Belinda, baby, where have you been? How do you come late for such a class? As in, I can't believe how Belinda will come late for such a class. Belinda. Anyway, Belinda just promised me that she'll read Bible for us tomorrow to make up for not coming to this important class. Who enjoyed the class today? Don't even lie. This class, this special. Someone say, do you have Lloyd's account? If you ask me for my Wall Street, Belinda say, what did she miss? Please, make somebody help me type episode. Hey, you are looking so good. You get melon. Oshe. I want kunsile kunsita. Where is Sama, baby? Eko Abiola Joel, my lovely. How you doing? ODB just popped one money gun. Lloyd's, Bahu. No be only Lloyd's. ODB, Oshe. Guys, if you're watching on TikTok, follow ODB. My TikTok account has been blowing, not money-wise. TikTok people are the stingiest. I had a video on TikTok that has 1.9 million views. If I had that on Facebook, as I say Facebook, YouTube, I know we'll come live for like 2 weeks. 1.9 million views, one video. I'll be in the Rolex shop right now. Guess what? TikTok will give you $4 for that kind of video. You go won't cry. 1.9 million views. TikTok will come count $4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you for. No. Thank you guys on TikTok, by the way. I appreciate you. I now have 131,000 followers on TikTok. I've gotten almost 20K followers in the last 2 weeks. And I have 313 likes, 313,000 likes. So please, if you are watching on TikTok, like my posts. And make una help me, they grow for that same TikTok. On Facebook, it's amazing. I have 1,150,000 followers. And on Instagram, I have 1,010,000 followers. So support us, like us. Problem is bank account is not growing, but the follower base is growing. So I'm going to see you guys later. Your last chance to pop my money gun. And be blessed. I heard just that one celebrity wants to have their leg amputated. I'm going to try and see if I can. Help with that regard, and give you the full story. But if not, anyway, like I said, now waiting I see for bank, now I go determine whether they come back. Don't follow, my darling. So guys, let me go. God bless you all. I love you. Take care of yourselves. I'm not coming back today. I'm not coming back. I'm holding people at ransom. If I don't see something substantial, now only one money gun I get. So I'm not coming back. Ella the Duchess is going to cry. John, I find it hard to talk about. Let me verify and get the facts first. Yes, I have to call Agba. Yes. Agba, where they always do me Yahoo. When he sees I did line, go call me then to make sure say I called you. Now you they busy. Hey. Post the replay. I've posted the first part, and the first part is the content. I did a lot of research, went to carry my sociology books, spoke to elders about what life was back then. Josh Essex. So guys, let me go and get dressed. Make I no go delay my Miss Linda, I'll tell you in the DM. You know, we hook up in the DM, so I will update you. So take care of yourselves. God bless you. See you later, alligators. He cannot have Zelle. He does not have social. I can't have Zelle. I don't live in America now. You go, they ask me things where you know say no work. Summer baby, oh no, summer baby, eh? How are you in class today and you are so quiet? Normally, Summer go they quarrel with person. Aye. But I know she was there since the other time. Bitcoin wallet, I have. Enter my DM for that one. All right, guys, love you all so much. Take good care of yourselves. I'll see you later. Hopefully, I will have confirmed. Belinda, you are reading Bible for me tomorrow. Belinda. Someone said, can Sama be collecting Zelle for you? I trust Sama. Okay, that's even good. Sama, collect all the Zelle for me. I will come back and embarrass you with all these. I have so much Zelle. Just watch. So see y'all later. Yeah, so tomorrow we have Belinda and Maid Man Yo. They'll be reading scriptures for us. So Belinda and Maid Man Yo. Bye guys. I'll come back with gist. Love you all. Take care. Bye.